I'm Nichole.
And I'm Giu.
And welcome to Nichole and Giu Live, our podcast where we talk about things we love, things we hate, and things we love to hate. And you know, weirdly, what I love is references to Norse mythology.
I thought you were going to say Robert Pattinson.
Well, you know, him too. I always love our boy, Robert Pattinson. But weird and unmentioned references to Norse mythology also make me very happy. There is quite a reference to Norse mythology in this movie that nobody picked up except for me. So I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one.
Hey, good job.
Yes. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about Mickey 17. It's a new Robert Pattinson movie. I think it came out like a couple of months ago in March.
A month ago, something like that. Well, at the time of recording this.
Yeah, at the time of recording this, it was about a month ago. It was actually supposed to come out in theaters the day before my birthday. It was supposed to be on March 27th. It definitely didn't air on March 27th because they kept moving it. I don't know precisely what day it did come out, but I just remember that because it was supposed to be the day before my birthday.
Yeah, they moved it like 5 times. I don't know what day it came out either. I stopped keeping track after the 4th time.
After the 4th time they moved it, yeah. Interestingly, I'll just go ahead and mention this here since I mentioned it already, but the planet that they go to on the ship is called Niflheim, which is a reference to Norse cosmology, actually. It is mythology, but it's like the order of the universe. It's supposed to be a realm that's kind of adjacent to hell. That's the realm of ice and mist and frozen rivers and snow, which is a reference to the Frozen, which I think they named it as a reference because the planet that they go to is all like a snowy planet.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I didn't know that either. That's interesting. When we were looking it up, though, apparently it's also the name of a Swedish metal band, which when I was Googling it, that came up first, which I just thought was funny because I was like, oh, Google knows I like Swedish metal, I guess.
I didn't know that you liked Swedish metal, actually.
Like Sabaton and Hammerfall.
Oh, is Sabaton a Swedish metal band?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that they were Swedish. But yeah, no, I actually think that I may have known that Niflheim was a black metal band, but I don't know. This just seemed like it rang a bell. I don't really listen to a lot of black metal, but I'm glad that you have like a frame of reference for it.
I don't either. I just like Sabaton, and then cool people open for their concerts, and I'm like, oh, I like that too. But in my head, I don't like metal, so I don't know what's going on there.
Well, you know, sometimes there are special exemptions to things. But I don't know, I liked this movie a lot. Like, it was way different than I thought it would be. I mean, it felt pretty much about, like, what I thought for the first, like, half, and then it became something else entirely, and I was like, I was not expecting this to be so wholesome.
I wasn't either, actually. Maybe we could get into it. I can bring it back to the ice planet, because that's how
Yeah.
the movie starts, is it starts on the ice planet.
Yeah. We open on the ice planet.
Yeah, we open with Mickey laying in an ice cavern, and he wakes up and he's like, "Oh, I'm not dead? Okay." And his buddy Timo ends up finding him there, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna just leave you here and take your flamethrower. Hope you don't mind."
The flamethrowers, like, isn't damaged at all, but I'm just gonna, like, leave it or take it and leave you here because you're almost dead already.
We're left to think that Mickey gets eaten by a roly-poly while he explains how reprinting works and how he gets spat out of this printer and they put all his memories back in with this brick, and how it's not allowed on Earth, so they put him on a spaceship and sent him into space so they can keep killing him over and over.
Yeah, because he's an expendable. And so what that is the scientists have created human printing. All you need is all the cells and all the different stuff that a human body is made of, and they will download and store your memories in the brick that Giu was just talking about. That's like the memories and personality of the person that they're printing out. and exactly like you said, it got banned from Earth because it
Mhm.
seems a bit sketchy. Anyways, and then but I think that they do all of the base missions have like an expendable? That was kind of what I understood. That there was
I
going to
don't
be one per mission.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if it was, like, every mission that goes out, but he did say that, like, as soon as they got into space, they started sending him outside the ship to, like, observe how this radiation was killing him, and they had one Mickey they printed out where they're like, "You have the shortest Mickey. You're gonna be alive 15 whole minutes. Aren't you lucky?"
Yeah, and then, the part where it just keeps flashing to all the different jobs that they keep giving him, and when he's outside the ship trying to see they're trying to see what the radiation is gonna do to him, they're like, "Hold out your hand," and he holds
Oh,
out his
yeah.
hand, and then something comes and, chops his hand off, and then he
Oh
just
my
doesn't have a
god.
hand, and the hand's just floating around in space, outside the spaceship, and everybody on the spaceship just, doesn't even notice it's there or anything.
Yeah, it's just floating outside the window while people are having their little lunchy.
That reminded me of, this Doctor Who episode called The Devil Planet, I think, where there's, a corpse floating outside, the window, but they cared immensely about that corpse in the Doctor Who episode.
Case here.
Yeah.
So then we get a flashback to Mickey and Timo on Earth and how they were gonna open a macaron shop, and they basically take out a loan that they can't pay back, and the loan sharks are chasing them. Oh, I think they don't actually have the shop, it's, like, failed once we see them, so we don't see them in the shop, but
Yeah, but I thought that, the fact that they were gonna open a Macron shop was so funny. I don't know why. I was just like, "Why Macrons?" Like, of everything. Like, why not cookies? Why not, a cake store? Why not, a barbecue restaurant? I don't know, just
it's trendy.
it is trendy, it just felt random. I guess that was kind of part of why. I love Mickey. This part where he's telling his story, I love the way he says "macrons."
He says macaron, right?
Macaron. Yeah, that what is
Macaron?
that? That is what he said.
Yeah, I think people normally say it like macaron with their American accent, but I've never heard macaron with the strong O.
Yeah. I don't know how French people pronounce it. I'm sure both of us are
It's
pronouncing it
like
wrong.
I can't say it in French, but it's like macaron, like that.
Macaron.
Yeah.
Macaron.
I say it like that just to be annoying, like, every time. I'm like, "Don't" I'm like, "Let's go get some macaron." I know I'm saying it wrong, but it just
But
it makes me laugh. I've said it 100 times, I still think I'm funny, so I'm gonna laugh at myself.
I still think it's funny. I think the way that you say it is funny. I also think the way that Mickey says say it again. I can't say it the way that he said it, but you had it perfectly.
Macaron.
Macaron. Okay. Yeah. He's so cute. He's I don't know, just kinda dipshitty almost a little bit. You can tell in his voice.
We mentioned this in our trailer reaction, but I love his weird, freaky little accent.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah, the
good.
weird, freaky little accents.
It's delightful.
And the way that 17 talks in particular is adorable,
Mm.
and not all of the versions of Mickey talk like that.
No, they're all distinct, but yeah,
Yeah.
7 must protect 17.
At all costs, he's the most important. I love him.
Me too. So, after they get chased by loan sharks, they catch him, take him to this room, and they are cutting this guy's foot off, and he's like, "I'm gonna follow you to the ends of the earth if you don't pay back this loan." So they're like, "Cool, we'll just leave Earth then."
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, that was so funny, that part when they're talking about how he's gonna follow them forever. He's like, "Well, I guess we just have to get off the planet then."
Some good logic right there.
No, yeah. No, there's definitely no way that he'll follow you off the planet. That would be crazy.
Mhm. And so then Mickey applies to be an expendable, and Timo becomes, I think they said, a fighter pilot specifically, because I guess he just gets lucky with everything.
Oh, yeah, they did say that he was a fighter pilot. I thought that was dumb
I
to
feel like
I
that never came back either, like, we never see him flying anything.
No. No, and he's also, like, he's so dumb. He's not intelligent. He's not nice or intelligent or anything. I guess that it kind
Kind of the point, though. They're just establishing this pattern of, like, he gets things that he doesn't deserve.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I think that that is kind of exactly why he got the better job.
And then when Mickey's applying, the woman's like, "Did you read through the whole application?" He's like, "Yeah." And then
He's like, "Are you sure? Are you positive you know what you're applying for? You wanna be an expendable?"
and then there's another woman who's, like, showing him around, showing him the printer, and she's like, "You read through the whole application?" He's like, "Yeah." Just thought that was funny. He's like, "Damn, I should have read through the application."
Yeah, he should have, but did not read through the entire application.
And the woman who's, like, putting him to scan and pops a zit on his face, and he's like, "I'm glad she didn't see the one on my butt."
Oh
And
my god, that part actually gave me the ick, like, big
it
time
did.
ick. I
Me
was I
too.
was like, "I can't deal with people popping other people's zits, like, pop your own zits.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
it's
do
gross.
it to others."
Yeah, no, I don't wanna see that. And then we see him all hooked up and there's, like, a tube in his butt. I'm like, "Poor Mickey." Also, we just been watching a lot of movies with Robert Pattinson's butt because I didn't expect to see it in The Lighthouse. I didn't expect to see it here, and I'm just like, "Hello, Robert Pattinson's butt."
Thank you.
Yes,
I'm
thank you.
gonna I'm gonna give the directors of those movies, like, a big ol' thank you for showing us Robert Pattinson's butt so many times. I wish that I could see it, but I imagine it being very, very cute.
It
I
is a
bet he
cute
has a
butt.
cute butt.
He does. And a special thank you to Robert Pattinson for being that comfortable on camera.
Oh, that too. That too.
And okay, so while he's being scanned, he's like having these flashbacks and he remembers pushing this red button in the car and he thinks that this button like somehow caused the car to crash and his mom died in this car accident.
Yeah, this was when he was a kid, like 7 or 8, and he has spent his entire life blaming himself for pushing that button, and he thinks that's what caused his mom to die. And
Mm.
we'll find out later on that that's not what happened. What he thinks happened isn't exactly what happened.
Yeah, you'd think even just as an adult you could think back and be like, "Okay, maybe there isn't like a button in the car that makes it spin out of control or whatever that,
Explode,
that
like,
anybody can just
completely.
push at any point."
That would be a really poor design choice, honestly,
In case you're feeling extra murderous, we installed this button.
to just instantly kill everybody in the car.
So he's like having a little mentee bee. I got that from you. In
Thank
the
you.
room.
I got that from Morbid, so
Oh yeah, it's funny. I'm bringing it back. So that's what's going on in the room, and the woman who was trying to scan him and all that just comes in with a gun, and she's like, "Prove you have faith in the system."
Oh, yeah. She was like, "This is the final step to becoming an expendable is that you have to prove that you have faith. So, here, take this gun and shoot yourself with it." Basically, like, that's the thing, but I don't think he does he?
I think it's implied that she shoots him. I don't think he shoots it himself.
No, I think you are right because I was like, but I thought that because once they're on the spaceship, it's like Mickey 1, when it says like which Mickey we're on. But I think that 1 must be like the first one out of the printer. So original like Mickey,
Programming counting like a list.
I guess so. Yeah, cuz there's like several times, right? When it like tells you which Mickey they're on.
Yeah, it does, but it's not every time.
Okay, well, I don't know. The audio description definitely said Mickey 1, like, when they're on the spaceship, like, when he meets Nasha and everything. The audio description definitely said, like, Mickey 1 on the spaceship. So I wonder if that lady did shoot him at that point, and that's just, like, the first print of Mickey is Mickey 1, and Mickey Prime is already gone. And Mickey 0, Mickey Prime, I don't.
I could see that. Yeah, I didn't really think about it. I just sort of accepted what was happening. But yeah, is that the second Mickey?
So, yeah, I think that on the ship, it must be Mickey 1 must be the second Mickey.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. I didn't really pick up on that. I was just like, all right, I guess they shot him.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason that I picked up on that was the audio description pointed it out, and I do want to mention here for anybody who will be watching this movie with the audio description or just wants to experience the audio description or anything like that, this movie has really, really good audio description. The whole way through, there was only one thing that the audio description did not tell me that I wish it would have told me, which is near the end, and we're gonna try and point it out.
Okay, yeah, we'll get there. So, next scene is Mickey 1 already on the ship. He's in the cafeteria. And I just had to point out the food dispensing gun in the cafeteria just like slop some slop right on the tray out of this like literally like gun dispenser. It just looks so disgusting.
My boyfriend started out really not super excited to watch this movie. Like, he watched it because I wanted to watch it because we were covering it on the podcast, but he wasn't super excited about it and was just kind of going along. And then, like, halfway in, was like, "This is actually really good. I really like it." It's like, that's
Mm.
what you say about every single time I bring you a movie, but, like, okay.
Trust. You need to trust.
Yeah, he needs to start trusting my movie picking abilities because he also thought Love Me was gonna be bad, and it was really, really good. So, he pointed out that the food situation kind of reminded him of Fallout.
Oh, I haven't actually played Fallout.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I haven't either, but, I've watched my boyfriend play it. It's one of his favorite games, and, I guess the food, like, the sludge and slime that they're consuming, like, the kinda icky looking food reminded him of the Fallout universe. I just thought that was kinda interesting.
Okay, that makes sense. I could see that because you gotta just slop some slop onto the plate when you're in space. We don't have like space for all this actual food.
Yeah, and I mean, in Fallout, they're not in space, but they are in, like, post-nuclear disaster Earth, so
All right, so this is the point where they mentioned Marshall when Mickey was getting his job. There's like some fanatics there, but this is when we first see him and his wife. How do you say her name? Ilfa?
I thought it was Ilfa. Yeah.
Marshall and Ilfa walk in, and people are like screaming and cheering. All of that's happening. Mickey looks over and sees Nasha for the first time, and they're talking, but we can't hear them. And then, Mickey gets closer to her, goes to sit next to her.
Yeah, she pats the seat next to her, like, their eyes connect, and then she, like, pats the seat next to her.
And he goes over, and yeah, we can't hear anything they're saying, but they're obviously flirting. And then all of a sudden they kiss, and I'm just like, whoa, that escalated quickly. And then there's a montage of Marshall talking about how many calories you burn while you're boinking. And how they're gonna have sex encouragement camps once they get there, because sex is banned on the ship because you can't burn too many calories. And so while he's making this speech, there's like it's going back and forth between Mickey and Nasha and his speech. And I was like, what? This is the part where I was like, okay, this part I did not expect.
No, yeah, exactly. I was kinda thinking that too. Yeah, there's, like, Mickey and Nasha are fucking, like, big time fucking, like,
Yeah.
she's, like,
Oh yeah.
pulling his head between her legs, and that it's just, like, it's intense, and, like, Marshall is like, "Oh, you burn 100 calories in an easy, like, session of sex," and I was oh my god. Him,
Him
he
and his
was
wife were like
driving me.
arguing about how many calories. She was like, well, depending on like the
Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right. Marshall's speeches are so reminiscent of a highlighter orange politician that is happening right now. We're not gonna get too deep into politics or anything like that, but I do just need it to be known that the politician in this movie is very clearly
yeah, it's
orange
not subtle.
colored.
It's
It's
not
not
subtle at all.
subtle. Even a little subtlety
Wait,
is
I
not
have
there.
one comment to make about that, and then we can move on. I, out of curiosity, was like, when was this movie being filmed? This entire movie was filmed in 2022. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, there was a chance that that would just be a memory by now when they filmed it.
There's this oh god. Ugh. Oh,
Isn't that like crazy?
if only it was just a memory.
I
It would have come off a lot better, honestly, because me and my boyfriend were both just like, ugh, like every time he talked, just like because it's so so prevalent right now of just the fucking bullshit
Oh, I know.
with Donald Trump, and I
Yeah, I
cannot.
think maybe they were planning on it being a memory because it does, like, take you out of the movie a little bit
Yeah,
when
I feel the
yeah.
same way. It does. Just the amount of visceral reaction to the imitation that is so clearly happening.
The actor, what's his name? Oh, Mark Ruffalo, he does a really good job.
Oh, it is Mark Ruffalo, and I knew that because my boyfriend was like, "Oh, that's Bruce Banner."
Oh, yeah, I knew too because I was talking about it last night, and I was like, "Dang it, I know his name, like, it's on the tip of my tongue." But he did an excellent job, but yeah, I think Nicole's right, like, I think it probably would've been better in hindsight because then we would've been able to just look back and laugh, but
And
now you're just
laugh.
kind of like, "Oh."
Now it causes, like, semi-visceral pain while it's happening, and that's fine. We're gonna move on. We're not gonna get too tripped up on the Donald Trump impression of it all, but just know that it's there and it's
Yeah, and
painful.
it's not subtle at all. So anyway, Mickey's very excited that he met his one true love, and he's like, "Thanks, Darius Blank," who's the loan shark, but I just thought that was so funny that he's like, "Thanks to my loan shark, I have met the love of my life."
I thought that was really funny too. That was a cute little aside.
Mhm. And he's just talking about how Nasha's a police officer and a soldier and a firefighter, and he's like, "She's great, like, what does she see in me?" And I'm just like, "This is just, like, so wholesome and nice," like, he just loves her.
It is, and I love Nasha. Nasha kicks ass, number 1. Nasha's really freaking smart. She really knows what she's doing, and she kicks so much ass
She
the
literally kicks
entire.
ass in the very next scene, like, these guys are bugging Mickey in the cafeteria, and they're like, "What's it like to die?" Like, just bugging him, and he's, like, thinking in his head, like, "Can you believe I have to deal with these bozos every day?" And she just comes over, grabs one of them, starts pointing the gun at him, they all start, like, brawling right there in the cafeteria, and I'm like, "Yeah, you
Yeah.
fucking get him."
Yeah, get him, go Nasha. I am the biggest Nasha stan. I'm the
We love
biggest
her.
Nasha X-17 stan, like, they make the cutest couple.
Oh, yeah, I ship them hardcore, they're so cute, and they're cute the whole movie. We talked about this a little bit when we talked about Black Bag, where I was like, "Oh, I love when, like, there's just, like, a nice couple who's together and the drama isn't, like, one of them cheating on each other," and that's, like this is, I guess, a spoiler, but you're listening to this, you've probably seen it already. I like that they do that in this movie.
Yeah,
I
I
like that they're a
actually
couple and they love each other the whole time.
the whole time, and the only even, like, slightly thing is, there's, like, an incident with the printer in a little bit, and Nasha's just excited. She's like, "Oh, there's 2 of you. Oh, all the sexy times that we could have with 2 of you." And
That was killing me.
I loved that. Like, that was, like, filling my cup just to overflowing.
Okay, so Mickey's the first one to go to Niflheim to breathe the air with the lethal virus, and they have to kill him like 5 times so they can make a vaccine so that everyone can go to the planet.
My god, it was funny, though. I was really cracking up because he's on the planet and they're like, take your helmet off. You can breathe the air, blah blah blah." And then the guy on his headset's like, "Now fill your lungs. Take a deep breath. Fill your lungs like there's a unknown virus in the air and you want to catch it. Just keep filling your lungs. Breathe deep." And then it's like the next scene he's like vomiting blood. I think that was in one of the trailers, that part, and
Yeah.
it really cracked me up in the trailer too, and I don't know, I just thought that part was funny.
I didn't expect this movie to be as goofy as it is.
It's goofy the whole time, and it's you're
Yeah,
chuckling the entire
yeah.
time, and then it's wholesome towards the end. I'm like, this movie was not at all what I expected, and that's what I mean. It was silly and wholesome and good and feel good, but then also, like, a part with animals that are
Mhm.
is gonna come up. It had literally almost everything you want in a movie.
Yeah, I expected some goof, obviously, like, cause you said, like, that part's in the trailer, and that's obviously silly, but I thought it'd be, like, maybe mostly action with, like, some goof, but it's pretty goofy.
It's mostly goof with some action and
Yeah.
some, like, heartfelt wholesomeness.
Oh, and then there's a montage of every time Mickey gets printed out from the printer, and they keep forgetting to put the table in front of the printer for him to to go like slop onto, so he's just like slopping right onto the floor.
The floor. Oh my god. Like poor Mickey. Just
They just do
imagine.
not give a shit about him at all.
They really don't. And I mean, they kind of make that really plain in the opening seconds of the movie with the whole thing where Timo is like, I'm just gonna leave you down there. You look almost dead already. But it's really clear that nobody even starts to think about Mickey, the expendable, like even once. Except for Nasha.
So once they're able to get this vaccine, they're able to send little expedition parties, and Kai finds the creepers, which I think they're basically just big roly polies.
They're water bears. The audio description said that they look like tardigrades, which are essentially, yeah, they're essentially like roly polies or water bears. They're like a single celled, or I think sometimes they can be multi-celled organism that they live here on Earth. It's one of the most common life forms ever on the entire
Oh yeah,
planet
this
or
guy's
in
got a little
space.
mouth.
I love them. I love them. I love the water bears. I love the tardigrades. I don't remember where water bears like came from. It was something that a lot of people were talking about a couple of years ago, but tardigrades, water bears, roly-polies, whatever you want to call them, they're these big multi-limbed monster things and they have like a mouth and I think they're kind of cute. I mean, I can't see them, but in
I
my
feel like it's
mind,
a
they're
cross
cute.
between the roly poly and the tardigrade, because I'm looking at the tardigrade and it doesn't look like it has that armored shell like a roly poly does, but it's got like that circular, like weird mouth that the creepers have.
Okay, so it's like, yeah, like that makes a lot of sense, actually. We hadn't really gone over exactly what they looked like. I didn't realize they had like the segmented outer roly-poly shell, but that
Yeah.
sounds cute. I used to love roly-polies.
I did too. I was talking to my friend last night and told him, "Oh, I just watched this movie," and he was like, "I don't know why people think those monsters are cute." And I was like, "Cause they look like roly polies." And he was like, "Great, roly polies are ugly."
Roly-polies are, I mean, if you're looking at them with a magnifying glass or something, just look at the outside. They're cute on the
They're
outside.
cute on the outside, and then they go into their little ball.
Yeah. I don't know. I used to love roly-polies. I used to collect them and just, like, make them, like, curl up into little balls in my hands, and I don't like bugs, but I do like
Yeah,
roly-polies.
they're one of the
So,
exception bugs.
yeah. Ladybugs and roly-polies.
Mhm, mhm. I like dragonflies too.
Oh, yeah, dragonflies are good.
So they are going and exploring the surface, and Kai, Jennifer, Mickey, and like one other person I think find the little cavern where the creepers are, and they start to just panic instantly. They're shooting, and the ice caves in and kills their friend Jennifer, which we have not really seen her, but it's clear that Kai is devastated about this.
Yeah, the whole, like, ceiling collapses on her, and is it this one Mickey falls, right?
Yeah, this now connects to the scene from the opening where, Mickey was sent to collect a sample since he's the expendable. They're like, "We don't really care if you get eaten, just like go get us this sample." And the creepers start coming. He's like, "Come on, just like make it quick. Big bites, everybody."
Yeah, I thought that
Just
was funny. He's like, "Alright, come on, just eat me. Come on, do it. Just big bites."
get it over with.
I thought
But
that was so cute.
they end up picking him up, dragging him out, and they all team lift him out of the hole instead of eating him. And he's like, "I'm still good meat. I'm perfectly good meat. I'm fine." And just starts
Y
like making all these cooing noises.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Yeah, because he's like, "I maybe they don't wanna eat me because I'm processed," like, so many times, you know? It's like, "I promise I'm still good meat. Come on, eat me." But I love the part where they all team lift him out of the crevasse because they're just basically, like, pushing him upwards, like, on a giant mound of themselves.
It's really cute. Yeah, they're doing a little team lift. They're working together. They're a family.
Yeah, I think they're like a hive mind, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
They're like either a hive mind or something. I was under the impression that it was a hive mind because of like the end.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that. So Mickey wanders the ice desert for a while until he finds a vehicle, and this woman cannot hear him, so who's driving, so he just jumps on the back, hitches a little ride.
Yeah, he just, like, grabs on, basically.
Yeah, and then she's arguing with a guy at the gate about the rock she's bringing in. He's like, "You can't bring that in here." And she's like, "Well, blame the science department. It's not my fault. They told me to go get it." So while they're arguing, he just sneaks off, gets off the vehicle and sneaks back inside. So he goes to his room to lay down on the bed and he lays down. And if you've seen the trailer, you know what's coming next. He lays down next to himself. And they sit up and look at each other. And they're like, "We're multiples."
Principals, they start, like, freaking out, and the whole thing is, Mickey starts telling a story about back on Earth when they developed the human printing technology, that there was one of the guys who was working on it, made 3 multiples of himself and, used the fact that he had 3 multiples to orchestrate a murder or, like, a serial killing. It was a serial kill he was a serial killer.
Yeah.
Uh, and so that's why there are not allowed to be multiples. Multiples are illegal. Multiples are illegal to exist.
Yep, and because of that, 18 takes a weight, chucks it at 17, and drags him over to the incinerator.
You can already kind of tell that 17, the one that we've been with for the whole movie so far, is kinda silly, goofy, like, a bit dunderheaded. He just has a really cute and almost childlike way about him. 18 is a psychopath.
Yeah, no, something happened between 17 and 18. 18, like, it was the straw that broke the camel's back or something for him. He's fucking over it. He's ready to murder.
Yeah, well, it was during this part where Mickey says that Nasha said that 15 was weepy, 14 was silly. Like they're all Nasha says to Mickey that every version of him that has been printed out is a little bit different. Like they have slight personality differences, and so Mickey 17, our Mickey, is an adorable goofball sweetheart man, and 18 is angry and he's a psychopath.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's also kind of cute that she loves him through all of his iterations.
I know. I love their relationship. It's so precious.
Me too. So 17 and 18 are wrestling over the incinerator, and then all of a sudden, Timo comes in and he's selling oxyzofil to someone. So the Mickeys are hiding because they don't want anyone to see that there's multiples of them. And 18's like, "Let's just kill him." And 17's like,
17's like, no, what are you
yeah,
talking about?
he's my friend. And 17, and then 18's like, "Okay, well, being in the same orphanage doesn't count as being friends. We should just kill him."
So we have like that other little piece gets added, Mickey's backstory. Poor Mickey. Mickey's had a rough life.
I know, poor guy. And then Nasha walks in after 18 wrestles with Timo, is about to push him in. Then Nasha walks in, and 17 is still hiding at this point. So then 18 starts to woo Nasha basically and starts talking about doing B6. And 17's like, B he said B6 was our.
Oh yeah, because then they're flashing to just Nasha and Mickey just kind of like in their romance whenever they're basically fucking each other. And they're just like sitting there making a little diagram of like all these different sexual positions.
Oh. Yeah.
And yeah, like I guess like B6 is one of the sexual positions. They all have like letters and numbers. There was quite a few of them. I can't remember.
It's just for a second that they show it, so you're not supposed to, like, really get a good look, but it, like he's remembering that they, like, labeled the sex positions with the letters and numbers. So, when 18 starts talking about, "Oh, let's go try some B6 or whatever," 17's like, "Nasha, B6 was ours." But she thinks it's him, right? So, it's not her
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah, and it's like he's a little different every time he comes out of the machine, so she just definitely just thinks that this is just like the new this
Yeah,
this is
she's used to
Mickey.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and multiples are not allowed. Like, there's no way she's thinking, "Oh, this is, like, another Mickey." She's just like, "Yep, this is the Mickey we're dealing with right now."
This is my Mickey.
Yep. So 17's trying to follow them without being seen by anybody, and then all of a sudden he gets swarmed by, like, this guy in a pigeon costume and this other guy that's like, "Hey, you just wanted dinner with Marshall."
Yeah, I don't understand the pigeon costume. Did you understand the pigeon costume at any point? Because I
I
did not.
didn't. I actually wanted to ask you because I was like, I feel like this must, like, be indicative of something, but I don't know what. I guess comment, let us know. We're confused about the pigeon costume.
If any of you know what the pigeon costume was supposed to mean or represent, yeah, please share. Because my boyfriend also throughout the movie, whenever it's like, what is up with the pigeon? Why the pigeon costume?
Yeah, I did not Google it. I did not look it up at all. So yeah, let me know. And Kai also joins at the dinner, and I literally wrote Kai joins them so she can have babies.
Yeah.
When Jennifer died, Marshall referenced her being like they lost like a fertile female or something like that. So Kai joins this dinner and he's like, "Oh, we need you for when we do our like sex encouragement thing because like you're a fertile female." And she's like, "Oh, I'm just like a uterus to you."
I mean, and also it's like it's even more evident that that is true because they were obviously in a fucking lesbian partnership. Like they're I don't think either of them want to get a penis.
No. No, they're not interested in that.
No, but that's not Marshall is definitely yeah, I was going to bring up the fertile female thing like before when we were talking about Jennifer dying cuz I thought that was funny cuz he was so mad. He's like Mickey didn't actually die, but we lost a fertile female? Like what the heck?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, so he's a scumbag.
Yeah,
And so before they start eating, Kai's like, let's say a prayer for Jennifer. And so then Marshall and Ilfa start singing. And as they're
singing
singing,
gospel music.
and as they're singing, Mickey starts vomiting because they had some growth hormone or something, like experimental growth hormone in the food. And they just like keep singing while he's like on the ground vomiting.
Like writhing, vomiting. He's like screeching in pain, like obviously not having a good time, even a little bit at all. And they're just over him singing this weird gospel music song. I was just like, wow, I wonder what this is commentary on.
Oh, so the chefs come over and they give him or not they're apologizing and they're like, "I'm so sorry, I'll like never be a chef again." And then the doctors come over and give him some purple Joe and he screams, but then he's like, "I'm
They give him
fine."
purple gel in the butt. They shoot him in the butt with the purple gel.
Yeah, a lot of Robert Pattinson's butt coming
A
back.
lot of butt stuff. A lot of butt stuff in this movie.
It's like, "No, yeah, don't shoot me. Like I'm fine now." And Yilfa is kind of agreeing with them. She's like, "Oh, don't like ruin my rug or whatever." So
And she's like, why would you even begin to suggest shooting him on my rug?
So Kai's like, "It's fine, we're gonna get the hell out of here." So she drags Mickey out of there and they go back to her room.
Yeah, Mickey's like looking at all of there's a lot of pictures and stuff with her and Jennifer on the wall that Mickey's looking at. And obviously he's putting together that they were like, I mean, I think that
Yeah.
he knew that they were a couple, but he's like, she's real fucked up about Jennifer dying.
Yeah. I don't think maybe they made it as obvious in the beginning too, because it's just like she dies and then her quote unquote friend, is what they call her, is sad. So this is where they make it like obvious.
Yeah, like super, super obvious that they
Yeah.
were together, and
Yeah.
neither of them are interested in being your fertile female, Marshall.
No. No, 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 no. But Kai ends up making some little tea thing for Mickey, and then she's flirting with him and is like, "Are you and Nasha open?" and tries to kiss him, and then he's like,
He's
I
like,
gotta get the hell out of here." And
"No, we're
he
not open."
the
Like,
whole time he's been panicking that 18 is with Nasha. Like while all of this is happening, he's like, "Oh my god, like what the hell?"
she they're fucking, like, 18 is fucking my girlfriend, and I have to get back to my girlfriend. He loves her so much, so it's so cute, and then Kai is very obviously trying to I mean, I guess maybe if she's at this point trying to fuck Mickey, maybe she would be open to being the fertile female.
But she might just wanna get it in real quick. She not trying to do all that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. She just needs comfort and
Yeah.
just like, I will use sex for comfort. But Mickey is not interested. Mickey only wants to have sex with Nasha, and he does not want 18 to have sex with Nasha, even though he knows that that's what has been happening. So he does use this opportunity to get the fuck out of Kai's room.
Yep, and he goes back to his room where Nasha and Mickey are, or not Mickey. Yes, Mickey, but specifically 18.
18.
And
Mickey 18, not
yep,
Mickey 17.
I mean, they're both there, so all Mickeys are present in this moment. But he walks in and Nasha, like, does she just gets excited and is like, "Whoa," and, like, takes 17's shirt off, and she's like, "I just wanna make sure you guys look the same."
Yeah, and she just got this huge cheesing grin on her face the entire time. The audio description was very clear. Like, Nasha looks thrilled. Nasha's having a good time. And also, like, her and 18 have been in there already having a good time. And then 17 walks in, and then she's just like, oh my God, what could we do? What could we do with two of you? And she's just cheesing. So happy. So happy. I mean, if I had a super hot boyfriend, even my current, I would be really excited that they were cloned. I'm right there with you, Nash.
And she takes her lipstick and labels them 17 and 18 on their chests.
Oh, that was her that labeled them. I wasn't sure if they had like tattoos or something or like what that was because it just felt like it came out of nowhere that they had numbers on their chest. I guess I didn't catch when she labeled them.
Yeah, she takes out a lipstick or something and just, like, writes on their chest.
Oh, congrats. Congrats, Nasha.
17 at this point realizes they're high on oxyzofil, but, they're just like, "Yeah, it's fine," and then they all jump in the bed, and 18 is twirling 17's hair, and then Kai walks in and then immediately leaves.
Yeah, because it's so funny too when, like, 17 is or, 18 is twirling 17's hair because 17 is, like, really into it at first and is really into Nasha, but you can tell is kind of, like, discomfited by the fact that number 1, it's him, so it's like looking in a mirror, but it's also, like, sharing her with another man, who's I think it's just funny the way that 17 reacts to it because it's very like you would react if your clone was like feeling up your face while gonna have and about to have sex with you. You would feel some type of way about that. And I think that Robert Pattinson does a really good job at that very strange thought experiment.
Yeah, they do a good job with his like, showing off his spectrum of acting abilities. There's so much different stuff for him to do in this movie.
Yeah, and he does a great job playing off himself, which is hard to do. And I mean, the time that springs the most to mind for me of an example of somebody doing this like really, really excellently is actually the fucking Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan. So,
Oh, the way I did not see that reference coming.
no, a strange reference to make for this movie, but same. It's the same thing. Lindsay Lohan did a really good job acting off herself. And Robert Pattinson also does a really good job acting off himself, which is hard.
Yeah, he does a fantastic job. So Kai ends up talking to Nasha and is like, I want one of the Mickeys. And Nasha's like, no, fuck you. They're both my Mickey.
They're my Mickey. I thought that was really, really cute when they're having that discussion because Kai is like, oh, well, whatever. There's two of them. You can share. She's got like a British accent. She's like, you can share. You have two of them, blah, blah, blah. And Nasha gets really mad. She's like, no, they're both my Mickey. They both came out of my Mickey.
I think you have them mixed up. Nasha's the British one.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, no, Kai didn't. Nasha is the British one.
I think Kai might be originally British or something because there's something funky about her American accent.
The way she talks is not accentless. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's
She sounds like like someone trying to do an American accent.
Who's originally British.
Yeah, because when British people try to do an American accent, if they're not good at it, they like overpronounce the R. She's like share, not just like share, but like share. Like they really go hard on the like that sound. Like they overpronounce it because Americans have that sound a lot, but then they like go too far.
Yeah, and that's such a good thing to pick up on. I think that that's a good point. You're right. I did have the two of them mixed up, but I think you could be exactly right about man, you know what? If she needed help on her English accent, talk to Robert Pattinson. It's not like you're in this movie with one of the best voice actors, honestly. Like I have been so impressed with him since we started paying such close attention to everything that he does since we started this podcast. His accent work is so good.
It is. I realized too that I don't even notice like when he switches because I'm just like, yep, that's just Robert Pattinson. He does voices.
I think that originally I remember talking about it in I don't remember which movie we were talking about, but I do remember you asking me if Robert Pattinson had ever been in a British movie and I was like, "No, Robert Pattinson is British."
But then, like, immediately after that, like, the next day, I was, like, watching an interview, like, a Mickey 17 interview, and I was like, "Wait, I've watched, like, a bunch of these. Like, I've heard his voice. Like, I know what his real voice sounds like."
No, I know you do. I know that was just like a bit of a like memory slip, but because you're right, he does sound so natural a lot of the time. There's really even in the Twilight Saga, which is from 15 years ago now at this point almost. There's only one or two little times where the accent even like slips a little. Like you can never full on tell that he's got a British accent in those movies at all. But there's a few little times that people have pointed out and put into compilations where his voice does get a little funny. It's only like 2 or 3 times in the entire 5 movie series though. So, and that was 15 years ago.
Yeah, no, I was about to say that was so much earlier in his acting career, like, he's had so much more skill and practice since then, so now he's just, like, phenomenal.
Yeah, now it's like you really cannot even a little bit tell his original accent.
No, he sounds natural, like, in everything he's doing pretty much.
Yeah.
So while Kai and Nasha are discussing the division of the Mickeys, 17 and 18 are talking, and 18's like, "So how was the dinner?" And 17 tells him how shitty it was, and 18's like, "So what'd you do?" And 17's like, "I said thank you for dinner." And 18's like, "That's stupid. We should kill him." And like while they're talking about this, there's like Marshall giving a speech on TV. So they're like, yeah, we should like not we. 17 I don't think is like sold on killing yet, but 18 is like kill that guy.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I can't argue with him at all.
Yeah, I think everyone's chill with that. They're like, I don't think anyone's gonna be that sad at this point.
No, but 17 does kind of like, no, that's a bad idea. And this is very much you can see.
But he's just being like a good person. Like I just think he doesn't want to be doing murder.
Yeah, exactly. 17 is a good person, and 18 is a psychopath.
So I'm pretty sure at this point 18's like, yeah, I'm gonna go kill him. So
It just
17
walks
to
off.
tell
Yeah.
Nasha and Kai, like, hey, we need to stop him. We need to stop him from doing murder. So the TV segment that Marshall was on is being broadcast live. So they're in the room where Marshall's giving this speech and 18 walks in with a gun. And then there's just this crazy montage of like someone grabbing him and like stopping him from shooting the gun. And like there's this big rock behind Marshall and a creeper runs through and people start like panicking because they think the creepers are there to murder. And there was a random stock scream right here. And I have like a thing about stock noises. I hate them. It's just that guy that's like, ah! And like, I don't know. I heard it. I'm like, why'd you include this here?
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, don't add stock noises into your high production movie. It's like an extreme nitpick, but like, I don't know. It just instantly takes me out of the movie when I hear one of those stock noises.
Yeah, it makes sense. And also, I don't really think it was necessary because there was so much going on in this scene that I don't know. I thought that the chaos of just everything going on was fine. But I don't know. Sometimes people, if it's the stock scream that I think you're talking about, because it's like the stock scream. I think it's called the scream. It's one of it's in a lot of movies. Like
Yeah.
directors like to just slap it into their
I mean, maybe
movies.
people think it's funny. I've been told that like this is a me specific problem and that stock noises don't bother other people the way they bother me.
I actually didn't even notice it. I didn't notice it when it happened, but
See, that's what I mean. Like
if
that's
you heard
normal.
that,
I think I'm the weird one where I'm
yeah.
like, why did they like because like you said, there's a lot of other commotion going on. I don't think you're like distinctly supposed to hear the stock scream, but I heard it and I zeroed in on it and I was like, why is there a stock scream there?
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's probably I don't know why directors really like to add that scream to their movies, but they do, and I feel like maybe that's what Bong Joon-ho was doing,
I don't know. Maybe it's a classic.
adding it in for classicness. I wonder why. There must be a reason.
Well, someone do the history of stock noise.
Or at least, like, that particular scream, because I think I know, like, exactly the thing you're talking about.
Yeah. So I'll woosah and move on from this. So while all that's happening, they think the creepers are gonna kill everyone, so they're like throwing on hazmat suits and trying to catch it. And 17 runs in, and Marshall's like, "You expendable! Like you don't need a hazmat suit." So 17 catches it with his bare hands, and 18's trying to shoot Marshall again, and some creepers are coming out of the rock, and then he, as he's shooting, like gets Marshall on the cheek, and then it's just they're all getting arrested because they think he tried to kill Marshall, which, he did, so
He got Marshall on the cheek. I wonder if that's a reference to the ear shot.
I guess it depends on when they added it in.
Yeah. I don't think there's any way for us to know if it's a reference to the ear
Well, it
shot.
was filmed before that happened.
If it was filmed in 2022, when did that happen? That must have been in 2023 or 24, because that was when the election cycle was happening. I don't know. I just wonder.
It was in 2024. It was 2 years after the movie was filmed.
Okay, so it was a strange bit of foreshadowing that nobody knew about.
Did Mickey 17 predict the assassination attempt of Donald Trump?
Oh, the world will never know. We must move on. I can get so sucked into that. We
That
gotta
could be
go.
its
We
own
gotta keep
video.
moving.
Again, we're gonna have to woosah through this.
Yeah.
Okay, so, hold on, I need a minute to breathe. I'm still laughing.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Really funny. I was like tickled act right
I
away.
I didn't even pick up on that, because I kind of remember now that you're, like, saying it, like, when it happened, but I didn't even make the connection when I was watching the actual movie, but when you said that, I was like, "Wait."
Okay, so the Mickeys and Nasha get arrested and they're sitting in jail. And 17 at this point reveals to Nasha and 18 that the creepers were the ones who saved him. And Nasha's like, oh my god, wait, like we have to tell the science department this because we think they're dangerous and like maybe they're not trying to murder us.
Yeah, yeah, Nasha's like, "Oh my god, what, they, like, saved you? That's crazy. What the hell?" And, yeah, maybe we have to tell the science department because maybe they're not out to get us.
And as they're talking about this, Timo enters through a crack in the wall. And there's like the wall made of crates or something, and he slips through a crack in, and the guard there is like, "Let me help you," and he's like, "No, leave me alone. I'm getting down by myself. You should have brought a ladder or whatever." So Timo's like, "Hey, I need to shoot a video killing you and chopping you up into pieces for Darius Blank because we got a letter from him. So I need to make him think that you're dead."
And it's fine because they'll just print you out again. So it's like no big deal. So if I send him a video of me dismembering you, then you'll just live. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And Mickey's like, what? But yeah, apparently the loan shark did follow them out to the edges of space.
So Timo's trying to take 17 because I guess he's an earlier version. Like 18 should be the one that exists right now anyway. And 17 doesn't want to die and he's acting all pathetic. And 18's like, just kill me instead, but like give me some oxyzofil first. And Timo's like, yeah, dude, because the dude that's there, he was like dealing oxyzofil to earlier, is like, give him your stuff. And he's like, but he does it.
And Timu's like, "You know I'm good for it. It's me. Like, just give it to him. I'll give you some more." Like,
And then as he's coming, Nasha at 18 grab him, like slam him up against the thing, the bars of their prison cell, like taking a thing. So Nasha, she like grabs the chainsaw that they had and is about to kill Timo when more people walk in and stop her.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that this spaceship is very big. So it's basically like everything, because pretty much that's happened every time anybody thinks that they're on their own in this movie is more people walk in.
Okay, so the Mickeys and Nasha are taken to that room with the incinerator, and the scientists are basically trying to communicate with the little creepers. Like they invented like a little device, like they're chirping at each other, and then Mickey and the scientist were chirping at each other on the way there too. And then that's how she
Yeah.
ends up telling him about it. Um, and Marshall's trying to decide which one of them to kill first, while Ilfa is cutting off the creeper tail to make sauce.
Yeah, this is the part that the audio description missed just a little bit is during this diatribe by Marshall. In the background, Ilfa's making sauce with the creature, and I don't know, just in the background doing like the sauce making, and I just for some reason I thought that that was really funny, and the way that it's just kind of like happening in the background. And also, we haven't mentioned about Ilfa. She's obsessed with sauce, like to a level that is shocking. I don't even really know how to explain her feelings for sauce. She apparently has a lot of them. But
Yeah, I think I
when
meant to mention the first sauce mention is during the dinner. She's like, "Oh yeah, like all this special sauce," and now she's making it again, which I just want to point out the sauce was the chopped off tail in a blender. She didn't do anything else to it. They're just
yeah,
consuming raw meat and bone.
yeah, from a blender. And also it was when the dinner was happening, it wasn't just like, "Oh, the sauce is such a special." She's like, "There are 3 different sauces. Try each sauce." So this sauce is good for this reason, and just keeps this is obsessed with sauce. And then yeah, like Giu said, she just chucks the little baby water bear, tardigrade, roly poly creeper, whatever the heck that thing is. She just tosses it in a blender and blends the crap out of it, and then's like licking her fingers like, "Oh, delectable, delicious. What a lovely sauce."
This is just poplars from Futurama.
Oh,
They're just like
it
eating them
is
out of a hole. They don't.
it is poplars. I forgot. That was a reference that I was not expecting.
So while she's doing all this sauce nonsense and Marshall's trying to decide who to kill, Nasha's trying to explain to them that no, the creeper saved Mickey. Here's proof. That's why there's 2 of them. We don't need to fight them. We don't think that they want to be at war with us.
No, yeah, they seem good. Nasha's the only one she keeps harping on. This is why I was saying like Nasha is so much smarter and gooder, and just Nasha's the best character in the movie, other than Mickey, who is just full of childlike wonder.
But Nasha's such a good character. Like they did such a good job. Like I feel like they're equal main characters.
Yeah, her writing was really good. I really liked the part where she was so excited that there were 2 Mickeys. I love her and Mickey's relationship, like their love is so sweet and wholesome, and also
It is.
filthy.
But that in a way is also wholesome.
Yeah, the filthiness is wholesome.
Nasha also ends up saying that the humans are the aliens right now because they literally just came to this planet and they were like, yeah, let's destroy the natural life here. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because Marshall is doing a real crackerjack imitation of Orange Julius, and keeps calling them aliens, like, "These aliens, we gotta get rid of these aliens," like, does the voice and everything so well. And Nasha's like, Dude, we're the aliens. Like, do you know what the definition of aliens is? We came here. We're the aliens.
And they take the creeper and like put it on a spike over the incinerator to drop it down in there. And Nasha's tied up right now, but she catches it with her teeth because she's not gonna let that baby die.
No. No, she won't let the baby die. I love her. That's what I mean by how, like, what a great character. Like, she literally catches the rope with her teeth.
And she's holding it for a long time. She's strong as fuck.
There's some strong chompers.
And at this point, Timo nudges his friend with him and is like, "Hey, start recording," because he sees all this shit going on.
Yeah, because they have the camera from a little while ago when they were going to film Timo chopping up Mickey to send back to the loan shark guy. So Timo's friend has a camera, and Timo's like, "Yo, dude, like, get this now."
And they end up putting both Mickeys in these explosive suits and send them to the surface. And they're like, "Oh, whoever can harvest 100 tails first gets to live."
For her fucking sauce. Ugh. But I thought that this part was interesting. This is why I think that they're well, obviously, I kind of had already thought that they were a hive mind when there were so many of them trying to get the one little baby that's inside their ship. But I think that because they're sending both of the Mickeys, like, I think that that's why the thing even talks to them, because it thinks that they're also maybe a hive mind or something. I don't know. That's not like a fully formed like thesis or opinion. I just thought that that was kind of interesting that the Mickeys are the ones that are able to communicate with the creepers, and they're also doubles.
That's a good point. That's an interesting theory.
It's not
Go ahead.
fully fleshed out, like I said,
Mhm.
but I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is. But before the Mickeys jump down, they're on the platform, and 17 is confiding in 18, saying, like, "Oh, this is punishment for, like, killing mom." And 18's like, "You didn't kill mom, you idiot."
We have 18 to thank at least for telling 17. This is what I mean when I keep saying that 17 is kind of childlike almost. 18 knows they didn't kill their mom by hitting that button in the car. He's like, "What are you, stupid? You thought there was just a self-destruct button? That's not what happened."
But he's like, "It could have been the car malfunctioning, but it wasn't you, and it wasn't mom's driving. Like, that's what we know." And they jump down from the platform, and the scientist runs behind them and gives them the translator so they can try to communicate with the creepers.
This is where the movie starts getting really wholesome.
So Mickey goes to talk to the big creeper and says, "Thank you for saving him." It's saying, "If the other baby dies, like, we're gonna kill you all," with our big scream.
Yeah, it says, "I can scream and it will make your brain explode and your eyeballs explode." Everything.
So they have cameras watching the Mickeys as this is happening, and Mickey starts gesturing, and he's gesturing C3. And we get a flashback to when they heard drawing all the sex positions, and C3 was called Bring the Baby. So Nasha's like, "Oh, we gotta bring the baby."
I thought that part was so funny. Yeah,
I
because it's like
love that they made that plot relevant. I was losing it.
multiple times. It comes back multiple times. The diagrams of their sex positions comes back in the plot multiple times.
Like, the B6 was funny for sure, like, I loved that, but it wasn't really, like, plot relevant, it was just funny, but I was like, "Oh shit, this is, like, deeply plot relevant, like, they're all gonna die if they didn't, like, do this earlier."
No, oh yeah, you're definitely right about this. This is much more like important. I just love that they kept bringing it back.
Me too, it's really funny. And the creeper also says that one of the humans has to die because one of theirs died, and if they can make it even, then there will be peace.
The creature has a really cute voice. I don't like through the translator is how we're hearing it for sure, but I don't know. I just really liked how it talked. It's like, "Where Luca?" I don't know. I really liked the way they made the creature's voice sound.
Yeah, that was cute. They had cute names, it was like Luca and Zuko? Something like that?
Yeah, I think it was like Luca, Suka, like they all kind of sounded the similar, which is another like point in my hive mind theory for me at least. But I definitely remember specifically like Suka, I think is the one that is in the ship. Luca is the one that was killed,
Yeah.
like was shot at.
So while that's happening, one of Marshall's advisor people is like, you should go down and like talk to the creepers because we're about to kill them and it would be like dignified of you to just give them like a send off or something like that because they're basically just gonna spray them all like roaches.
Yeah, they're like, go be an asshole at these creatures for a little while and explain that we're going to kill them because we're obviously the most important and we have to set up our civilization here. So all of these like little water bear creatures got to go.
Yep. So Nasha ends up being able to grab Ilfa and grabs her with her legs and is like, I'm gonna break her neck if we don't get this baby down to mom.
This is what I'm talking about with Nasha being a badass.
Yeah, her hands are tied and she's still kicking this lady's ass.
Like, so hard.
hmm And Timo reveals that they've been recording the whole time, so he's like, yeah, you need to listen to her, or we're gonna like show everybody all stuff.
We're going to show everybody what an asshole you are.
Yep, and he's like, get ready to prepare your defense, because this is what's happening. So they agree to do this, and Nasha goes to the surface with the baby, and the babies are all like swarming over the mom and like making these big pillars. 'Cause they're just going nuts at this point. And they're stampeding and carrying away the Mickeys. And 18 ends up making it to Marshall's vehicle because he's ready to kill. Like, he's like, oh, we got to kill somebody? All right. He's been waiting for this. He's been wanting to kill him the whole time.
Yeah, 18 is ready for murder.
So Nasha makes it to mom. She delivers the baby, but it's not moving.
I know, it's sad.
Yeah. And I think Mickey's, are you sure he's all right? Something like that. So as that's happening, 18's like, "Are you seeing this? One human!" And Marshall has this armband on with buttons that'll explode both of the Mickey's suits. And Mickey decides to go ahead and push the 18 button, so he kills himself and Marshall. So 2 for 2.
Yeah. He's like, are you watching this? I'm going to do it. And he pushes the 18 button and they both just instantly explode. And then you're just like, oh, look, like 18 surrendered himself so that 17 can live. Because obviously 17 is the one with goodness in him. And I think that 18 knew that. I also thought that it was really cute because 17 and 18 have kind of been having conversations throughout the movie where 18's like, well, whatever. Like, I'm the one that's after you. That's how it should work. Like, whatever. I should live. And 17 says, well, usually when I die, then that's just it. Then it's just the next number comes up and I'm living it now. But if you die, then I'm not gonna be here anymore. Like, me, how I am now will cease to exist. And 18, I don't know, I think 18 really kind of comes to the realization that like he's going to make everything better so that 17 will be the one to live because
Good guy
17
on the inside.
is the good one. Yeah, 7 and 18 knows that.
But I think 18's a good guy on the inside.
Oh, yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think 18 is good on the inside. I think he's just angry.
Probably so. He's been killed 17 times at this point.
Yeah,
So
I'd be angry too.
Then we get a time skip to 8 months later in the spring. Nasha's been appointed the new leader, and she's making an announcement that they're abolishing human printing.
Yeah, Nasha's the leader of everything. I really loved that because she was obviously the most competent person in the entire movie. And I love that they just completely make her head of the entire resettlement program.
Yeah, and she says that she's excited to grow old with Mickey, and I'm like, oh.
No, their love is so pure.
Yeah, and then we get a flash of Kai with another girl, so that's cute. Like, Kai was able to find love again.
Good. Kai deserves love, just not with Nasha's Mickey.
Yeah, exactly. And Mickey obviously was not interested anyway. And I think that Kai was also grieving. Like, I don't think she actually like wanted to be with Mickey romantically.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think she just wanted comfort, like we were saying.
Yeah. And then there's a voiceover from Mickey, and he's saying that there's a rumor that Ilfa slit her wrists in a psych ward, and everyone was sent to jail, and Timo got out on parole, and that Darius Blank's associate found him and tried to kill him, but Timo threw him into the incinerator.
Yeah, that was good.
Nasha got elected and they made a new translator that's like fully developed so they can talk to the creepers. And I don't remember like the main scientist lady's name, but she's like sitting in the crowd holding one of the babies, which was really cute.
That is cute. Yeah, she was nice. Like, I liked the main scientist lady.
Yeah, yeah, she was really cute. And then Mickey's down in the caverns talking to the creepers, and he's like, "Hey, would the screeching really have killed us? Like, that doesn't really make sense. Like, what would it, like, why would it explode our eyeballs and not our eardrums? Like, is that a real thing?" And then one of the little babies comes up and just screams at the top of its lungs, and they just start laughing. And he's like, "Oh, I guess humans are the only ones who can bluff."
I know, I thought that part was so cute. It's like I was saying, the wholesomeness of the thing with the creepers, with the water bears. I keep wanting to call them water bears. I know that they called them
I know what you're
creepers in the
talking about.
movie.
It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. I know they call them, but creepers to me just says Minecraft, but whatever. Um I thought that it was so cute with the water bears at the end of the movie with the whole thing with lying, how they can also lie. I just thought that that was so cute. And this is the part that I was talking about where the movie is so wholesome and I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting the whole thing with the animals, like with the creepers, water bears, whatever you want to call them. I wasn't expecting it to have like a happy animal part to this movie.
If
I
you
don't know,
watched
it
our
just
trailer reactions, you know that we're both suckers for like cute animals and men who love animals, and neither of us expected that from this movie.
from this movie. Yeah, it was just it kind of snuck up on me. And then, with the whole love story, the filthy beautiful love story of Nasha and 17, and it's just this whole movie, it makes you feel good, but then also at the same time there's like like the weird stuff with Marshall being very analogous to some like weird political stuff that's kind of, I don't know. This movie was such a mixed bag of emotions for me that it's hard to even like single out what type of movie this is. Do you know, you kind of get what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, it's such a
saying?
wide spectrum.
Yeah. And I just wasn't expecting it to get as dang wholesome as it did.
Me either, but I really enjoyed it. That really like tied it together for me at the end when they're like still together and they love each other and they like loved each other the whole time and they like stood by each other. I don't know. I really like when a couple can like just exist as a couple and like they made it exciting without the drama being like, oh, someone cheated or we're breaking up and like, will we get back together? Because it's just like so played out. Like, I don't need another story like that.
And also, it would have been so easy to do with this movie. There was literally two of Mickey. Like there could have been a love triangle situation where it's like 18 wanted her, but then 17 was jealous, and then like 18 was like, no, she's but that wasn't what happened. And I
No.
wasn't expecting it to not be what happened. That was what I was expecting. And that is not what I got. And I don't know. I think that Bong Joon-ho did a really good job. I think that there's a reason that the last movie he did won, wasn't it the Academy Awards or something? Because he did
I don't
Parasite,
know. Yeah.
and that won some kind of big ass award like a couple years ago. And I was really impressed because I didn't actually watch Parasite. I have wanted to see it, but I have not. I was surprised by a lot of stuff in this movie, and I don't feel like I'm surprised by movies that much anymore.
That makes sense. I have seen Parasite and I was still surprised because I feel like a lot of the time a director will often direct many similar movies, but this was nothing like Parasite.
Yeah, Parasite's a horror.
Yeah, it was like Parasite in the way where there was like social commentary undertones, but everything else was completely different.
Yeah, Parasite's a horror movie, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was, and I knew that because it has been on my list for a long time. I just haven't actually watched it. This is doesn't even begin to approach that. It's completely different, but I was kind of expecting this to maybe be a little bit of like a sci-fi horror just because of knowing that Bong Joon-ho had directed that before and then kind of seeing the trailers for this. It's completely different though.
According to IMDb, it is actually a psychological thriller. I think people often talk about it like it's a horror movie because I was like, yeah,
It's
that
like
makes
I
sense.
kind of feel like those two categories are kind of like on a level too, because horror and psychological thriller are like almost the same thing, but not quite. But I think the ending of this movie though was a bit psychological thriller-y because like Giu was saying, everything's all wrapping up all nice. Mickey's doing the little outro monologue at the end and everything. And then he walks into the printer room and Ilfa is there and he's just like, "Dude, you're supposed to be dead. What the fuck? Why are you
Mhm.
here?"
And there's like blood on the floor, and she's like, "Oh, it's the sauce. Like, you should taste the sauce. Even a lowly person like you should be able to appreciate this."
The sauce. And then it's he looks over and the printer is printing fucking Marshall. Yeah, and that part was I was like, "Oh god, ugh."
Yeah,
That
like,
was a
oh
little
shit.
bit yeah, it was a little bit psychological thriller.
But then Mickey remembers that Ilfa died the day after Marshall, and he thinks to himself, what would 18 do? And he just looks at Ilfa and he's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
And he wakes up back at the presentation where Nasha is, which we had some character development there because he haunted his past before and he was able to pull himself out of that because of 18.
It is ending the way we hope it's ending, not with Ilfa and Marshall coming back. And then that's the end of the movie, with them working out the civilization on Niflheim.
Mhm. And Mickey gets to press the button to blow up the printer, and the last thing at the end of the movie is he thinks it's okay for me to be happy. And I was like, oh, my heart.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. That one really pulled at my heartstrings too.
Yeah. Punched me right in the heart.
Yeah, yeah. I loved Mickey so much. You really come to have such a fondness for 17 because it's the child like wonder of him. I really think it is. Like that's why I feel so connected to him because he almost acts like a kid.
Yeah. You just want to protect him.
Yeah. Protect Mickey 17 at all costs. I also Robert Pattinson did a phenomenal job. Like not only with just the character development of 17, the way that he is and how everybody is so charmed by him and he's such a good character, but also with the complication of basically acting alongside himself as another actor. Like he had to act off himself and he did a fucking incredible job. I honestly could not be more impressed with that man now, and I did not feel that way when we started this podcast. So,
That's relatable. Everything we watch with him, I'm just like, damn, he's like a really good actor. If people are still sleeping on him today, like you need to get it together. He's incredible. So the woman who played Nasha is Naomi Aki, and I will be looking at what else she's been in because I loved her. She was fantastic.
yeah, she was really good. I've never heard of that actress before, but she did a really good job.
Well, she was in both twice. I haven't seen that, but that's like a one that people would know.
Yeah, that's kind of recent. Let's maybe get around to our ratings. I think that we usually rate things on two scales. We have an enjoyability scale and then also a Twilight scale. And so maybe we both say our enjoyability and then we'll both do Twilight.
Sounds good. Do you want to go first for your enjoyment?
Yeah, I'm going to give this a solid 4.5. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it the whole way through. I really liked it. There were a few like little things for me that man, okay, honestly, the Donald Trump of the Marshall of it all kind of it I think it would have been I kind of agree exactly with what you said earlier in this episode that I think that if things had turned out differently and we weren't still dealing with him now the way that we have to, it would have been hilarious and I would have loved it and laughed a lot, but it just
It's
got
like a
under
little
my
too real.
skin because it's a little too real. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think I'd give it a 4 out of 5, but, like, Robert Pattinson and Naomi Aki's acting, I would give, like, a 6 out of 5, like, they did phenomenal.
They both did an incredible job, yeah.
But I liked it, and I would rewatch it, and I had a good time, and I liked the cute animal story.
Same, yeah, no, this is definitely I will be rewatching this at some point. This is a good movie. And my boyfriend liked it too and didn't expect to, so
My boyfriend said it was okay. I he hasn't given me the full report yet. I think he needs to process a couple days, but I think in like 3 or 4 days he's gonna like be out and call me randomly and be like, "So I figured it out." And then he's gonna like tell me about it. So I
give
don't
you his full rundown.
Yeah, he has to process for a little bit.
That makes sense.
It was a lot to take in. I don't blame him. But anyway, next is the Twilight scale.
Yeah, yeah, that was what I was gonna say, that maybe, that knocked it down a bit for me is I felt like there was a little too much going on a couple of times.
Yeah, that's fair. It was a lot packed into this movie.
Yeah, but yes, no, I agree with you. Let's move on to the Twilight scale, and, I'll go first. I'm going to give this movie a, I might gonna just have to give this a 0 on the Twilight scale. I cannot think of a way that this movie is like Twilight.
I'm I'm gonna have to agree, or I can find like one little thing, and I'm like, oh, but wait, but this one, I don't think so.
No, yeah, I mean, you literally used the fact that Shark Boy and Lava Girl also opened with a quote for one of your reasons on a previous episode. Yeah, so you can usually find almost anything. I use the mist. Like the mistiness of these locales is similar to Forks, Washington. But no, there's literally nothing about this movie that is Twilight. And that's fine.
No,
That's good.
that's good actually. It's a positive thing.
It is.
Before we go, can I just talk about Bong Joon-ho for a moment and how wholesome he is?
Oh, please. Please. I don't know anything about this man.
I've seen a couple interviews from this movie, but there was one where I don't remember the whole interview, but there was one part that stuck out to me, and they were asking each of the actors, like, once filming was wrapped, what was your first thought? His first thought was, I can't wait to go home and see my dog. And I was like, that is so
Aw.
freaking adorable. And then there's this other clip of him floating around where he's on the red carpet. And the interviewer's just asking him, like, oh, like, what are you thinking? And he's like, I miss my dog. And she's like, "Oh," and he, like, pulls up a picture of her.
Oh my god, that is so cute and wholesome, and I love that so much. I agree, Bong Joon-ho. I miss my dog. And that's what I'm, like, excited about for when we finish recording, is going and seeing my dog. So, I think that Bong Joon-ho and I are on a similar wavelength.
I was like, "That's so wholesome." I love that. Like, I was like, "Is he actually, like, the most wholesome guy?" 'Cause I don't know anything about any director, basically, so I just don't know. Like, I didn't have an opinion, but then, like, okay, I've seen 2 interviews with him, and both of them, he was like, "My dog, I miss her." And I was like, "That's so cute." I
I
love him.
love that. I love people who love animals, so I'm
Me
here
too.
for that a lot.
Yeah, it was just very wholesome.
With that being said, thank you for listening, and I'm gonna go see my dog.
Imma go hang out with the kitties after this, so
Yeah,
you should go
and
pet your
also the
dog or
kitties.
cat.
Yeah, I will go pet both of my dogs and all 4 of my cats.
Mhm. All 6 of my cats over here.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.